The Meisner acting programs at the Maggie Flanigan Studio provide actors with the tools they need to succeed as professional actors. Natasha Weiner, an actor in the 2-year program, talks about the difference between acting classes in LA and actor training in New York.
I'd pursued acting in LA years before, and the format was you're given a scene, you have a new partner each class, you do the scene, you rehearse it, you perform it, and then once you perform it, you kind of get some feedback on how it went, what you could have done differently. And that's the whole class. So when I got here, I knew there was technique to it because I knew Meisner's technique. Obviously, there was more to it than just scenes. But upon coming here, I have never been so exhausted my entire life. But in the best possible way, it's just there's a lot more work and depth to it than I ever would have imagined. I understand the process of acting so much differently and so much better than I did before. I've never studied Meisner before. This is my first time. I knew of the Meisner technique, and I also knew that there were other ones in addition to him. I knew what method acting was, and I knew I didn't like that, and I knew of Meisner, but I didn't really understand fully what that meant until getting here. And I love the approach so much better. It's a lot healthier. I always hear people throw the word artist around. I'm like, oh my God, that's so stupid. No one's actually an artist in acting. Everyone's just doing it. Because that's all I had really learned about acting. I knew that I love the idea of acting being organic and natural, but this approach genuinely embodies what it means to be organic and natural. The change was not so much understanding what it means to be organic or natural to acting, but really understanding the process of how to get there and how to bring yourself to whatever role you do. The thing that's resonated with me the most is don't force emotion. Don't force yourself to feel some way. If you feel it, fantastic. If you don't, you don't. It forces you to come face to face with your emotions in a way that you might not necessarily have done before. From what I've taken in LA, I've done improv and I've done actual acting classes. The acting classes are very surface level. There's no depth to it. It's very much, okay, here's your scene. Let's see what you can do, and then we'll go over it. Not even critique it even. It's just we'll go over it and see what you could have done better, what probably didn't work. It doesn't teach you how to improve yourself as an actor. It just teaches you different scenes and how to, what you think they mean and how to approach it. Here, the approach is, we'll get to scenes in a minute, but what does it mean to be a human being? And then apply that to text, because once you can be a human being, you can be a human being in text. The approach to the other classes I've taken is not focused on the craft, whereas in Meisner, it's all about that. Charlie is a hard, but in the best possible way. He will push you to your limit. I've heard people say that, and I'm like, all right, whatever, that's fine. Oh my God, I've never been so exhausted in my entire life. To be criticized is hard when you're not used to receiving it, but the criticism is not meant to put you down. It's meant to empower you and really figure out what makes you good. And if this is something you can really do. Being with Charlie has been exceptionally eye-opening in that regard. So to a person who is worried about time, yes, it's time consuming. It's 3 times a week, and you have to meet with your partner in between. It's every single day, basically, for 6 weeks. So yes, it's a commitment. If you don't have that time, you're not going to get everything you need out of the class. If you've never taken another acting class, don't expect this to be what you think it's going to be, because it's not. You have to be open to the fact that it's going to be hard and you won't initially like it, because you're basically being put in a position that you haven't been put in probably ever. It's not, oh, it's going to be so hard, I'm going to hate doing the work. It's going to be so hard that you're really going to have to invest the time. You're really going to have to invest the effort and the energy and the emotion.
To learn more about the acting programs and the acting classes at the Maggie Flanigan Studio, visit the studio website. Students who have questions about enrollment can call the studio at 917-789-1599.